Hi everyone, welcome to Starlight Activation. I'm Anthony, and I'm giggling because my guides just tickled my nose. I say literally on every one of my faith videos, and a lot of my aquascaping videos when I'm doing a narrative, that of course I go into a pre-prayer meditation session before I do a video, and I always ask for their guidance, and I always ask for their protection that I don't really say something maybe I'm not supposed to say or I don't want to mess up. And so I always know they're there because they tickle my nose in about the same spot every single time. And so my camera shut off as it was happening. I think I forgot to turn the power on. No, the power was on, but it didn't record. And so it shut down. I thought, okay, well, it missed that part then. So, but anyway, thank you for joining me. We have something today. And yes, this is at night, sorry. I know everyone probably loves to see the tanks all lit up, but they're on a schedule and I'm not gonna mess their schedule up because they're my kids. And I want my kids to get their rest. So I'm filming for you guys at night. I had well, first let's start by saying this. You guys know that I have spoken about Molly. Crossroads meets the Ocean Rose, her YouTube channel, her spiritual channel. She does channeled messages and she's phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. I have her listed as separately as a soul family member. That's how much faith I put into her. We have met electronically on a Zoom meeting. So I feel like I know her a little bit and we can communicate back and forth. And she watched one of my videos and actually was the first person so far to comment on a video. And so I was very honored by that. And it's just kind of interesting because that happened like hours and hours and hours ago today because it's at nighttime now. And so she had a message, a general reading message. And I thought, okay, let me sit down. I got almost all the way through it and then it hit me. Oh my gosh, I need to start this thing all over again. Because I kept getting this feeling that she was talking directly to me. Like there was no one else there. It was just me. She was saying everything to me. Almost every single thing she mentioned, I think except for the part about giving birth to a child, that I resonated with. And so I did the same thing that I've done before with Secret Shaman Oracle Collective, where I went in and I rewatched the entire video and I wrote everything down that resonated with me. And then we came on to the video and I read what popped up in the reading and then how my interpretation of that, how it was affecting my situation and my life, my energy. So, and I thought this would be another really cool, beneficial way for those of you who maybe are starting the process of waking up and you're not sure about, what's going on or how to listen to messages or what information should you pull away from it, pull out of it, not away from it, but pull out of it. And I thought, okay, I can sit here and it would be awesome if we could let her video play while I'm sitting there live, and I'll just pause it and say, well, this is where I see this. But her video is like an hour long, and so I can condense it a lot faster into one of my videos, hopefully 30 minutes. So let's get started. So you guys know I've got your videos scheduled well out in advance. So this is technically her video. Let's see, and remember, it's Crossroads meets the Ocean Rose, and hers is dated February the 18th, and here's the title. You are destined for greatness. You are gifted to awaken souls and attract generational wealth. Okay, so that's the title. So if you want to go back and watch this specific example, and then after that, we've talked about what I see in this reading. This might give you a really good reference point on how to interpret information yourself, or maybe how to process the information, or at least start that evolution of being awoken. Now, the things that I'm gonna hit on in here, I want to say this ahead of time. Nothing that I ever say or do has ever been originated through a reading. It has always been originated through my intuition, a third eye vision, a direct message. The vocabulary that I use when I'm speaking to my guides is not my vocabulary that I use on a daily basis. It's quite different. There's words that come out that I've never used before. And so I know that my prayer meditation, my prayer manifestations, my grounding work, all of those things where I'm engaged in dialogue because I'm talking constantly to them. So it's not like I just pray once or twice a day. Oh my gosh, no. They're in my head the whole time. I'm talking to my guides all day long, all night long. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'll say something. So I know they can hear me because I get answers to things or some things. So I want to set that intent first, because when you see what comes out in a reading, and then I say, that's what I was saying from day one. And from day one, I'm talking about March the 22nd of 2025 when I woke up that day. Woke up spiritually. And from that day forward, the very next day is when I found Molly. And so she's been with me from the beginning. And she is one of my most trusted. So let's get started with how she started her messages that she was bringing across. The first thing that popped out, a leader, a guide, communication, or I think she may have said communicator, but it's communication. Very important leader as in my journey here. Powerful, knowledgeable, do something online for communication, or the internet that brings peace or something for the world, or do something for the planet that is very healing and brings abundance, peace, and forward movement. Oh my gosh, that opening paragraph could be a video literally, I could sit here and talk all night about that first paragraph right there. When I say I thought she was talking directly to me, it felt just like it was just me. And she was like saying, she might as well have just been saying Anthony. So let's talk about this. The whole thing keeps revolving around communication. Now, before I came out or evolved spiritually. Now, I've always been spiritual, but I'm talking about where my spirituality took a massive boost. I have always had a gift of being able to communicate very effectively, and I've been able to counsel people that were complete strangers. All I really needed to do is, I thought I had to meet them face to face. I actually don't. Because I can do it remotely now. But I know that my voice is healing. I have been told that more times than I can count. Just on the last 2 trips I was on, I was counseling a crew member on each one of them. And I always say, every time I have a work flight, I'm on that flight for a reason. I tell someone something or I learn something. Normally I'm telling, because I'm very proud about my channels, and I come out and I'm very open about my spirituality now, which I was not before at work. And so the word about communication is very important, because now remember, I am an empath. I use communication at work constantly with my passengers. So every flight, I've got about 250 or more passengers that I'm communicating with at some level. And my goal is to make them feel better about being on a crowded plane, especially people that are like scared of flying. I'm talking about though just the general masses too. You know, the typical flight attendant stories you've heard about where they ignore you and they just don't engage with you. That's not me. I am right there. It is me on a comedy stage. That aisle is my comedy stage. And I love to have fun. I love to interact with my passengers, and I feed off of their energy they give me. Some people would say, no, it's your light. Okay, it may be my light. I know they can see my light because I've had passengers tell me that before. They can see my light. But I feel like I receive energy from them because of the interaction that we engage in. It's reciprocal. It's the figure eight. That's what it's like for me. It's energy flowing both directions, and I love it. It's amazing. So for me at work, I communicate constantly, and I'm flying. So there's going to be a lot of flight references in this reading that I won't have to go into because I already am a flight attendant, and you guys know that. So very important, though, leadership. Now, every job I've had prior, I have worked in state government and local government, nonprofits. I've always been in a leadership position. I'm not talking just little jobs. I'm talking where I worked with Ryan White funding for 39 counties. That was a huge job. Or I ran 9 programs in one state. And so leadership for me is easy. I fall into it very, very easily. So that just makes sense to me. Where I think I'm doing a leadership now is that I feel like I'm standing in my light, speaking my truth, and being on my highest and my best path forward. And that's going to be referenced later in this reading. So we've got powerful as in, a lot of times I've heard that relating to being a healer. And if you guys are not watching the videos in order, there's a reference to me clearing out a generational curse that was on my family, a curse that went back to the 1600s, and I cleared it. And part of that was that, not that I was knowledgeable, but that my intuition told me what I needed to do, and I stepped into that role, not knowing what to do. But I healed the earth a few days later where the curse started. So the curse started with landowners, which were when my lineage was actually started, when it began. And they were pushing people off the land by force. And you know what that means. That means burn them out, kill them, whatever, slaughter them, shove them into the water because it's an island. And once I cleared the curse, and I knew that I had cleared the curse because I've been told it many times, like different ways. I didn't know what I did to clear the curse. I still don't know. But with intent, I went into a prayer meditation to heal the land, and it just kind of evolved. I started going into a prayer meditation, and I astro traveled to the spot, and I saw a third eye vision of me healing the land. So I know I'm a healer. So that's something also that there's relevance to here. So the online for communication, I still think that probably references both of my channels. So for those of you who are new, I have an aquascaping channel called Aquascaping on the Fly, which ties into the reference of me being a flight attendant. And I was guided by the divine to start that channel quickly when I learned about aquascaping, and I knew nothing about it. I started that channel right away because I was guided to. And then I don't remember how much time passed before I started this channel. And I kept getting the message, tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. So this is me telling my story. That's why I call it my video diary. And so there's that communication. Also, I think it was yesterday. It was in the evening. Some of you are going to know who I'm talking about. There's a particular radio program that comes on at 7 p.m., whatever your 7 p.m. is for you. wherever you live. I don't know if it goes worldwide or if it's just the United States or North America or whatever. And it's a female host. And I think her job is to get people to cry as much as possible on the radio show when they play and they're playing different music. I mean, she's really like, the first time I heard her was years ago, years and years ago. And I just thought it was horrible because literally she was just making people cry I said, that's just making someone cry to get ratings. And I hated that. So, there's a gnat in here. So I thought as I was thinking through this, when I heard this person's voice, I was like, oh my God, what if I was on the radio? I keep hearing this thing about stage work, on the stage work. And I thought, well, a podcast is stage. Maybe that means there could be a radio program that I would do, like a call-in program, where people would call in and they would say things and I would get my opinion about something. So that just popped to me because I was listening to someone I can't stand. So after the communications, so it says powerful, knowledgeable, do something online for communication or the internet. Well, hello, I got two of those. That brings peace or something for the world. Or do something for the planet that's very healing and brings balance, peace, and forward movement. Okay, when I did my healing of the island where the atrocities took place, I said at the time that I was bringing peace and harmony back into the land because the land seemed dead to me. The land was sad and nothing, it just seemed dead. And so after I did my healing exercise on it, it turned into this rebirth of white flowers everywhere. And so I knew it had worked. I knew that my prayer had manifested the earth to heal. And I think I said in there, now this land can move forward. And it maybe could be productive again. And I thought it was very, very interesting that peace and forward movement came out because I was thinking that. Okay, someone's messing with my throat chakra and I know who it is. Sometimes there's dark entities that don't want you telling your story. They want to derail you, and that can attack your throat chakra sometimes from getting your voice out, from getting your words out. The next part, very grounded. And I do that a lot. The last grounding work, well, not the last one, but my most fun one was while it was still summer, and matter of fact, it was Molly. Molly had said in her reading that I listened to that day, someone's going to go to the botanical gardens. And so it just so happens here in Texas, our botanical gardens are called just that, botanical gardens. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll go. And it starts to rain. So I get there and I have to Google, can I do grounding work in the water? And when it's raining, it says, yes, it's excellent, but the botanical gardens were closed for a private event. So I had to go to another park. Well, when I get to that park, it's raining, but it's not bad. I have a small umbrella. And I took my shoes off and I'm doing my grounding work in the water. Oh my God, it was amazing. And then what happened was I said, oh, if I could just have a little sunshine so that I could see the sun, and before I get back in my car, because I was out for a long time. And as I was on my way to the car, just a few feet away, matter of fact, the clouds parted, the sun came down, and there was a rainbow. I got that shot as fast as I can, or as I could, and so I posted that. So rainbows are very significant. Also, in my aquascaping channel here, I have a series of tanks called the Rainbow Series, because I feel that the rainbow is very magical. It's something that happens because of the rain, and I attribute that to Gaia, to Mother Earth, and I'm very, very grounded with Gaia. So for me, my grounding work is very, very spiritual, and it's something I take very, very seriously because I can tell when I'm not grounded. And so there's going to be a reference in a minute about rainbows. So, okay, the next big section. Being called to do something online with my voice. Hello. It's been Archangel Michael that's been saying, tell my story. Michael has a set of cards, and that card specifically comes out. whenever I'm listening to channeled messages. So I thought and it's not the first time it's came out, so I'm kind of used to that. Do something online with my voice, creativity, and something that I am passionate about. So I am most passionate about aquascaping because I feel like I co-create with the divine and Gaia, because I'm building low-tech ecosystems where I'm mimicking waters of the earth with life in it and plants and the chemistry of the water and the lighting and all that. And it's extremely challenging because it's not just one thing you're doing, it's several disciplines, and it's the most rewarding thing ever. And so when I put my shrimp in there, it's like the cherry on top. You know, then I have shrimp to watch, and I'm waiting for, are any babies being born? Are they going to be healthy? You know, and it's just a very spiritual, magical moment for me. So it's not a surprise that every one of my builds has a spiritual significance, and I get I'm not going to say a calling. I get an intuition about a build. Like it pops into my head. Like the very first set of tanks, they were called the Trinity series. It's Adam and Eve, Garden of Eden, Turtle in Motion, and Bird on a Wire. And then I have another one, it's called Tree of Life. And then I have Blackfish, which is a commentary on orcas that were kept at SeaWorld, Tilikum, that ended up killing 2 people because of the way they treat them, and they're basically slaves. And then the Rainbow series. I have the Rainbow series now. And then plus I've got some experimental bowls that we're doing. But they all have a religious theme. They all have a spiritual theme. It comes up and says Earth Angel or a guide. That's one of the things there. Maybe it's a guide. Maybe you're an Earth Angel. That part of this also, my path into my passion, talking about aquascaping, was healing childhood wounds and lineage. It says it right there, lineage. Lineage is the same thing as generational. And so I was told that we had a generational curse, and I actually started doing research, and my generational curse is documented. And that was shocked that it goes back to the 1600s, and it is documented. It told what happened, and it told what the curse is. And once I saw that, I was like, there's no coincidence. Everything is synchronicity. And that's when I had fortitude to push myself forward to do something I didn't know if I could do, and I tried it, and it worked. I asked for their forgiveness for the people that were harmed. And I even went further in a third session to where anyone that was involved with this original curse, if they would like to join my group, my spirit team, I would welcome them, but they had to give up their dark ways and come to the light. Now, I have not had confirmation that anyone has joined. They could all have, by now, I mean, you're talking that's 400 years later. They could have all have transitioned into other bodies. So who knows at what level they're at now. But I did make that offer just to let them know that I was going to welcome them in, as long as they were going to practice only in the light. And the interesting thing is every time I do any type of healing work, I always go in and I transmute the darkness into light. And I give it to the universe, and I allow my light to follow it so that it comes out of my realm and out of Earth's realm. But it goes into the universe realm, and then my light transmutes it. And then that is given to Archangel Michael as diamond dust, as blessings that he may administer onto the souls that pray to him. Because I feel very, very close to Michael. And so I do that because it allows me to continue co-creating. and it allows me the ability to have my light go much further probably than I will ever be able to do as a mortal on this plane. And it makes me very proud. A lot of times I will start crying when I'm actually doing it. A lot of the stuff I do in prayer meditation evokes heartfelt, emotional tears of joy. It's never sorrow. It's always tears of joy. Oh, here we go. This lineage tie, you might think I'm the black sheep of the family because this was not supposed to work. I wasn't supposed to be able to do this. The black sheep of the family, I kind of thought meant that I started out as an unwanted baby. And I was adopted, but adopted in my same family. So that's how I know who my lineage is. And I felt the wounds of abandonment as an infant. And then growing up as gay, that's where a lot of people would say you're the black sheep because you came out as your authentic self and bucked the system because it caused heartache in my family. My mother had to be hospitalized in a mental institution because my dad blamed her for what I was going through. So we all had to go through therapy when I first came out. I would never wish that on anybody, but that's how families treated it back then. So the one thing that Molly said, not the black sheep, but the rainbow. And that's where I thought, okay, rainbow. That's it right there. Rainbow. What's the colors of the gay flag? Rainbow. So it's one of those things again. There's no such thing as coincidence. I mean, you just got to accept it and say it's a blessing, and there you go. So I already talked about the running. Okay, here's one thing that I felt was very interesting. Now, I know there's people that watch me. Now, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about people that are shocked at what I've done. I'm talking about people that are shocked at my transformation, that I actually walked away from a marriage and struck out again and have blocked the energy from my spouse. So people study me and how peacefully I have progressing through my journey. There are some dark forces that surrounded me. I have confronted my husband and I said, I suspect I know exactly who they are. There's two camps of them that I know of, and then there's also family members that I have that are not happy with me, that do not want to see me succeed because I am gay, and or they're just jealous, and so I've blocked them as well, and also my best friend. So sometimes you do have to make the hard choices to progress. I have the ability to create, to do whatever brings me joy. Now, create, I'm taking two ways there. I create in my hobby. I do remodel as a hobby. I'm creating then. I like to design my own rooms. I like to build out my own rooms. I like to plan every detail. I'm involved with, I don't hire people if I can help it. So my creative juices flow, and I used to be a designer. I used to be an interior designer. So my creativity really flows from me quite easily. And I don't question it. So that's how I'm taking that. But you could take it the other way too, the ability to create your own reality, which is through manifesting your future. And I have been doing that. So you can, it's something you can do on two levels. Okay, so this group wanted to take my essence, or at least dim my light, so I would be defeated and not move forward and allow me to stay stagnant, downtrodden, and attached to my husband, because he was still using me financially, even though we weren't living together. And that's where I shocked everyone, when I just bucked the system and just moved and just done. Okay, here's something I do all the time. I alchemize fear into love and am guiding people. So I've talked a lot on this channel about how you can take, when you're doing your shadow work and you're presenting yourself with something from your own realm, your own being, that you need to get rid of that habit, and you do the work, you realize what you're doing, this is a pattern, we need to stop this pattern, because that could be your karmic cycle, and that's a fear to get rid of something like that. It's fearful. It's not something that you can easily do. You have to be very dedicated in it. And then what I'll do is I release that into the universe with light and love. And again, what do? I have my light accompany it into the universe and alchemize that darkness, or whatever those emotions were, the negativity, and what it did to me, the wounding it kept doing to me, and I alchemize that from dark to light. And again, that goes to Michael as diamond dust, so that he can use it for people that need his prayers. I've been patient and dedicated. Yes, I really do try to, when I realize something has happened, I try to work on it. And then I do so many check-ins during the day, especially when I'm at work. I just do little check-ins constantly while I'm doing that. Just to make sure that I haven't missed anything, and it's just natural to me because I talk all the time to myself. Well, now I'm talking to my guides, so there's an audience. Okay, so this was talking about, when I talk about the seeds you plant, that's like your pentacles. So when they're looking at the cards, it's the pentacles, that's what they're talking about. One thing that Molly had stressed was that she saw that this person in her collective that she was referring to, the collective, may have just only had one pentacle, or may have just took whatever they had at their disposal and then invested that, used that as their startup. That's how I started my channel. I got the least expensive camera, the cheapest lighting, and I had to get software to publish my videos, but that's how I started aquascaping, with the crappy little camera. The crappy little camera that I'm using right now for you guys' videos, because it has a microphone attached to it. And you can't use that in aquascaping because I'm moving all over the place. But you guys, I'm just sitting right here. This is easy. So I am still reusing my old little crappy camera. But that's how I did it. And it's been through educating myself. So I've been studying and learning and experimenting and creating. And through that, my passion has just blown up like crazy for the hobby. So the seeds that I planted are growing. That when they grow, this is what they're like. They're miracles, they're blessings, your personal growth, your happiness, you're creating something. This is where you can build a business and all will be successful because you're doing this all under divine timing, divine guidance, and you're doing the work and you're being diligent and you're going to be rewarded because there's harmony and balance in the universe. And I know we're going to talk about this in a minute because I know it's going to pop up. From the very, very first few sessions I did, prayer sessions, I talked about harmony and balance because I talked about an ex that was back in 2010 that I never got harmony and balance from. And so I started bringing that up. But yeah, I think we'll pop it. I think that pops back up. Receiving a blessing. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, all will be successful. I'll be receiving a blessing, or I'm manifesting a blessing for me with financial abundance, prosperity, independence, and stability. Independence meaning I'm not relying on someone else for my financial independence. I will be secure on my own. This came up very specifically about the divine that gave a message during the reading to Molly to say that you will not have to worry about. You can do this alone. You have the skills to do all of this alone. If you choose to bring accept a love offer, because there's two on the table, one's a past and one's new. And it makes it very, very clear in the reading. They've been this way for months. The one from the past, no bueno. That's not going anywhere. That's staying stagnant. That's staying blocked. That's staying cut off. The new, I have been manifesting. Because I want a partnership to where someone can aid me and we can build together. I think it's going to be more fun to do it that way. Yes, I could do it by myself, but I'd rather enjoy the process with someone else. So that's what I'm doing. I have gone through quite the transformation. Okay, so just in a nutshell, my abandonment wound from infancy, my lack of worth, being gay, being a ginger, oh my God, you guys, gingers are just made fun of horribly. Being told I'm ugly. Those wounds have affected me in every single relationship since I was 19 years old. And I just have dealt with those. So I saw the pattern that I was doing my whole life. And I have been able to flip the script on that. And that I'm so proud about that. I'm so proud that I was able to finally see it, recognize it, deal with it, forgive it, and give it away. That part I love. So going through the transformation, yes, there's a lot there. There's a lot of negativity to have to deal with, a lot of suicidal thoughts, planning my suicide, down to the smallest detail, sometimes on a nightly basis. But I fortunately never went through with anything. But I know what that feels like. I know when you're rocked that low and you see no way out. That's why it does not scare me. It does not... I know as long as I am protected by the divine and my guides, I'm not fearful of what could happen because I have given that up. But it helps me be more empathetic to someone who's going through a crisis because I know what a crisis feels like because I lived through a crisis. I did not have any help anywhere. I grew up in a very small town once we left Texas and moved out of state. And the town was so small, there was only 40 people in my graduating class. So the bullies were on you every single day. And that's the sad part of that. Okay, we already talked about that. Okay, here we go. Mini missions. Okay, I said from the beginning that I knew I was a Sirian Starseed here and a Lightworker here on a dual mission, definitely. I did not know at that point that I knew how to heal. I did not realize how powerful my voice was in counseling. It's just been those skills have been amped up. So yes, there could be many missions that I've signed up for that I'm not knowing yet. Just because you're not thrown everything at once. It's given to you in pieces to where you can digest it. But following that thread, many missions to be free, independent, not codependent. So we kind of talked about that. Spiritually a guide online. I don't think it gets any easier than talking about this channel right here. Helping people online work will blow up in a beautiful way, doing something that is a gift. That could be either channel. I think it could be the aquascaping channel because that channel has a likelihood of blowing up because I like to do a lot of experimenting, and I love my content. My content is rock solid. I don't fault my videos. That's another thing because, it is quite tough to do everything all by yourself, and it would be nice to have a technician. Just saying that. I should have prayed for one. Okay. The blessing, there's this magician energy, which is receiving more blessings. Oh, here we go. This was something specifically you said. You said you have a warrior spirit. I said from day one, I was a warrior on the ground when I was talking the first time to Archangel Michael, because he's a warrior, and I know we know each other. Protect your light. Oh, I've been told that since I was in my 20s. I never knew what that meant. Protect your light. I can expose things that are hidden or deceit, which I would call that my discernment. Yeah, that's gotten stronger. I can agree, yeah. I am dedicated to my path, growing and learning to do the work. Okay, so someone in my orbit is not transparent, without pure intentions, not honorable, and wants to bring in an offer. Well, that's my husband. Be discerning and hold back or block or set boundaries. They have a devil-like energy, and I already know that. And I've already do that. I cut the cords with Archangel Michael's. He's the one who cuts the cords. And also I asked to have people's energy blocked, just in case. Okay, here's one that really got me. Now remember what I said when I'm doing my prayer manifestations. I will state this every single time, that I call on my angel posse. They're the ones that keep me standing in my light, speaking my truth, and being on my highest and best path forward. And this is what came out. You standing in your power, speaking your truth with confidence, standing in the light, single, self-confident, self-sufficient. This may trigger others. There we go, nose again. Spiritual or physical inheritance. So that can go both ways. I mean, you could get both, I guess. But your inheritance is something that's been kept from you, maybe, that now you're getting. So because of the generational curse that was on my family, the things that would have came to the family weren't being delivered. They were being blocked because of this curse. I should be receiving my spiritual upgrades because now they can flow in. And the inheritance does belong to me. Do not wait for it to be perfect. No one is perfect. It's all about the lens. Oh my gosh, lens. I think that was the video right before this one. I figured out during a prayer meditation session that I was using a negative lens on my own narrative. I was doing it. Oh my gosh, that was huge when I pulled that one out, when I dealt with that. Oh, it was amazing. So when she said lens, I was like, oh, I just did that. Because you can be only who you are. You can't be someone else. You can't try to be someone else, and you have to be authentic. Divine timing means there is no coincidence. I say that all the time. Again, dedicated to your path, can collaborate with others, destined to be in the public eye, destined for success on a generational level. So that goes back to freeing up the curse. I don't know what it means as far as what's coming. I just know that that's been freed up for me. And I am meant to be seen in the public. So I'm hoping that means like taking something like this video diary, but going live or something like that, like a call-in show or something like that. Oh God, that would be amazing. I am a catalyst for others. I am a transformation for them. And again, Michael tells me to tell my story. I wake people up. Oh my gosh. From the first time I went into prayer and meditation, I said I was a light worker. I said I'm here to wake up other light workers, and I said prayers about that to wake them up. Oh my gosh! So yeah, that was very interesting. Okay, just a little bit more. I'm not even looking at the timer. She pulled up separate special cards now. So we're done with the tarot. She pulled up separate. First card, she pulled up Devil card. Codependent, lust, devil energy, lack of integrity with finance. My husband. I'm to continue to follow my intuition, keep the faith, choose balance and harmony, trust the divine. My thoughts create reality. Cleanse my energy, cord cutting. Clean my space. I have been cleaning my space. Spiritual bath. Oh my God, those are the best. You guys do nothing else. Take a spiritual bath. Oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah. I've talked about it many times on the channel, so you can find a video to talk about it. Online will go viral. Public eye to be seen. What was lost will be restored. Now, I take that one quite literally to be the relationship prior. The one years ago. What was lost will be restored because I lost everything. I lost a home, stole my car, robbed my house. And I wasn't able to use insurance for any of it because we weren't protected by law back then. So of the specialty cards, there was 3. Soulmate is coming in, and it had a double confirmation with another card, soulmate. Okay, I don't know if I can say this like Molly says it. No. Simuality. Yeah, so replace the M with an X. Simuality, okay, get it? Is a sacred act. And I'm very intuitive. Okay, so there were 2 angel card numbers, and then we're done. Thoughts and achievements aligned equals body, mind, and soul. That was a confirmation. And then God helps good people. Angels are assisting so I can give to more others. And I love that. So if you like this content, at some point, put a comment down there. And I'd love listening to a channeled message. And then I take whatever notes come out of it that I feel resonate directly to me, and then I can give you my take on that. But also, if anyone has any questions out there about something maybe that you have a question about or something you're struggling with, please feel free to contact me. My email is out there. And I hope this resonated with you. I really enjoy videos like this because it is taking the context of what I do in my daily life anyway, which is what I'm telling you about in my journal as we do things now. When I achieve something, or when I wipe something away, or when I clear something, or when I ascend in some place, or when I get a vision about something, I feel it's normal and necessary to include you in all phases of it. So I hope you guys liked it. And until you see me as your flight attendant up in the skies, or on our next video update, I'm wishing you guys nothing but light and love. Have a great day. Bye-bye.